and girls, babies in your diapers. Welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius. Today, we are going to talk about some very awesome stuff. We have a cool video game to talk about, a great book about our money, my bonus score report, and we got a totally awesome guest. The only, my friend, Mr. Tom Traxler. Tom is the head coach of the Orlando SeaWolves and our soccer team. Thanks for being on the show.
What a pleasure. It's great to be here on the show. We usually do this inside the Heritage Club at the Silver Spurs Arena, but today, your studio, your place.
So, today, we are going to start off with the video game of the week, and this is going to be a classic.
That's a good thing, because I'm a classic.
And now it's time for the video game of the week.
In honor of our special guest, we are going to do his favorite game. So, today's video game is Space Invaders. This game was created in Japan in 1972. My dad was only 1 year old back then. It was then brought to the United States by the company Midway. They put it in large wooden boxes called arcade machines, and kids would stand in front of the machine and pay quarters to play the game. Space Invaders is listed as one of the best video games of all time. So you are a laser cannon at the bottom of the screen, and you can move only left and right. You shoot at arrows of aliens that are at the top of the screen. There are boxes between you and the advancing aliens. As the aliens move, you hear the music like a heartbeat, which adds to the excitement. As you shoot down the aliens, they move faster and faster. The music goes faster and faster too. The aliens can shoot back, but you can hide behind the bunkers. The level ends when you shoot all the aliens.
Have you ever played Space Invaders?
Oh yeah, I have.
It's a good game.
It's a very good game.
It's a classic. Like you said, it's a classic like me. I remember because I was young when they came out. I stood there feeding the machine quarters after quarter after quarter after quarter, and you had buttons. So you had buttons that you had to work back and forth so you can move your cannon and you shoot the guys, and they kept coming down on you. Pretty soon it got a little fast. It gets way fast though.
So my dad says you shoot them from the sides so they won't drop down. That's the problem. I know when they drop down close enough, they can run into you and die. I give Space Invaders 10 out of 10 stars because it is still fun to play after all these years, and I think most adults will attempt it while reliving the days that they enjoyed playing games. I think all kids should try this game.
I think all kids should try it too. I give it a 10.
See David Smith, Law.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
That website again is cwsmithlaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And now we're all ready for the book of the week.
The Turtle Twins and the Creature from Jekyll Island. This book was written by Connor Boyack. Let me read you the back of the book. In fact, Tom, would you do the honor?
It would be a pleasure. So, it says, what kind of creature can steal from you? Join Ethan and Emily Tuttle in their exciting third adventure as they uncover the curious mystery of how a powerful creature is stealing their grandparents' hard-earned savings and how the twins are also being controlled by the same creature without it even knowing it. In honor of the classic The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin, this book introduces children to the history and nature of money, banking, inflation, savings, and bartering in an informative and entertaining format that both educates and excites its young readers.
Oh, wow. So first off, this is not an AR book. I got this from my grandfather, and each time I read a Tuttle Twins book, I seem to learn something. So this time I have learned about money.
Money.
We need those monies. So now we all need and want things, and we have to pay money for it. So I knew right away that this was gonna be a fun book. So the book starts off with the Tuttle Twins helping their grandpa collect honey to sell at the local fair. They worked hard and collected a lot of honey and then put it in jars. Then they went to the movies, and Grandma talked about how the tickets and food cost so much more than they did when they were kids. So they blamed it on the creature from Jekyll Island. So after asking about the creature, Grandpa explained that way back in the day, people used gold coins for money. And the rich that made the coins would shave off the edges to steal the value and make more coins for free. When the workers found out, they were mad that they have been cheated, and then added the ridges to the sides of the coins so you can tell if someone shaved off the sides and stopped the rich from cheating them. Well, in 1910, a number of wealthy bankers had a secret meeting on Jekyll Island, and they made the ultimate bank called the Federal Reserve. So they could print money anytime they wanted. Then they printed lots of money. When they printed lots of money, and prices of things went up, even though they were worth the same as the day before. This is called inflation. This steals the value of your savings and makes your current money able to buy less. Then they got the government to pass laws and tell everyone to use the money they printed instead of gold or silver or even barter. Barter is when you trade goods. So just like the ridges and the coins, the people made barter clubs, garden swaps, and digital currencies like bitcoins to stop high prices from people cheating. Then my dad even has bitcoins, and he still has them to this day. And that is cool.
That is cool.
Isn't it?
The value goes up on those things.
The value does go up. So, I give the Tuttle Twins and the creature from Jekyll Island 10 out of 10 stars. And I am trying to learn about how to run my own business and earn my own money. And it is always good to read books that show how to save your money and use it wisely. My dad said we have a lot more talking about barter and using money. And, well, that tells me that other kids' dads might want to show their kids this book, don't they? So, you can learn more about the Tuttle Twins on their website or Amazon.
Nice. I might have to get to see what they're talking about. I'm always up to saving some money.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of our awesome sponsors, SlutChannelUS.com. These guys are very, very cool. They bring 21st century surface drainage solutions to reality. They can do corporate and government work. These are the guys that make roads and bridges safe in the rain. You can see all about them at SlutChannelUS.com. That website again is SlutChannelUS.com. The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of our dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom Braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering, to trophies and awards. They can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373. And now it's time for our interview of an interesting person. Today's guest is going to be so much fun. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Mr. Tom Traxler. Tom is a broadcaster and the head coach for the Orlando SeaWolves.
I am. It's not been the best of seasons for the Orlando SeaWolves. I think we need to work a little bit harder, but For a first-year team, I think we've established ourselves in Orlando. We've started to get a fan base, so we've given ourselves a place to grow from. And broadcasting is something that I've done for a while. Comes from my background in entertainment. While I've been in Orlando, I have been an entertainer with Universal Studios. I've also been an entertainer with a dinner show that was called Arabian Nights. So I enjoy being in entertainment. I enjoy being in sports. Two things I've always done as I've grown up since when I was your age to, even though now that I'm 50, I'm still doing those things.
So first off, how are you enjoying being on the show?
Liking it so far here, man. You're looks like you got a very good schedule here. That looks like we're having some fun. We've talked about a book. Now you're going to talk to me, an interesting person. I didn't know I qualified as an interesting person.
Well, you are an interesting person. So for my listeners that don't know already, what is the Orlando SeaWolves all about?
The Orlando SeaWolves are a professional indoor soccer team, and they play in what we call the acronym is the MASL, or Major Arena Soccer League. We play out of the Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee, and we travel to different places in the country like Baltimore, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kansas City, even over to Lakeland because our rivals are in Lakeland, the Florida Tropics.
So what is the best part about being the head coach for the Orlando SeaWolves?
Getting to establish the direction and the identity for the team and how we're going to play, giving the instructions to the players, getting a chance to meet lots of new players, lots of new people, getting the chance to go different places. So the travel is a lot of fun, and getting a chance to expand, getting a chance to make myself better because I've grown now. I never had a chance to be a coach at a professional level, so this is my first opportunity. So I've always said to myself and other people, never be afraid of challenges, and this was a big challenge for me. So I felt like I've met it head on, and I've grown. I'm better for being the head coach. I'm better for taking on the challenge.
Okay. So when you were a kid, what did you want to do when you grew up? Did you always know you were going to be a head coach?
No. I think when I was a kid, probably if you'd have asked me, I probably wanted to be on stage somewhere in a band singing. That's probably what I wanted to do. But that didn't work out, and I was fairly decent at playing soccer when I was a kid, so I just kept doing that, and opportunities came my way, and I've always stayed involved in the game, whether it's playing. I don't play anymore because I'm a little old now, but I coach, and that keeps me involved. I coach at Winter Park High School as well. I work with young players, and I coach, of course, as we're talking about the Orlando SeaWolves, so I coach adult players and men and professional men. So I've stayed involved with sports my whole life, but again, as I told you, I have a real passion for entertainment, and I do love to get on stage, and I do love to sing.
Wow. So you are also a broadcaster. Where do you report on?
Well, up to this year, for the past 7-8 seasons, I was an analyst, which is someone who describes the action that you're watching, the way the players are playing, what they're doing for Orlando City, which is in MLS. And that was a great big honor. Got a chance to meet a lot of people, some great supporters for Orlando City that I've still remained friends with. So that's what I did. Talked about the game, went to training, learned, met a lot of the coaches, the different coaches that they've had, the different players that they've had, and then I was able to go on air and tell people about those coaches, the players, the team, how they're playing, what they're doing. And it was a great experience for me, and something that I hope to do again down the road.
What is more fun, reporting or being the head coach?
You know, there's a lot less pressure when you're a broadcaster because none of the decisions are yours. When you're a head coach, you make decisions that are either going to affect the game positively or negatively, and it all kind of stops with you. So if the team does well, everybody pats you on the back. If the team doesn't do very good, everybody's going, what did the coach do? So it's the coach that always messes up. So, but I think I like that. I like the pressure. I like that of making the decisions. So I would say that being a head coach is for me, very exciting and something that I've absolutely enjoyed doing.
Okay. So if my listeners wanted to grow up being a head coach of a sport, what advice would you give them?
I would tell them to make sure that they understand their sport inside and out. Learn all the rules. know how to play, understand the different ways that your sport and your team might have to play. Like in our game, there's different formations, different tactics you have to understand. Also, I would say take, and it's a big word, psychology courses, because you have to work with people. You have to be very good at working with their egos, because everybody has an ego. Everybody thinks that they're important, and you've got to make sure that they know they are important to you and that they're valued. So getting, for us, getting 20 some odd guys all on the same page and making sure that they feel like they're important, that's a big challenge. So I would definitely encourage people to take leadership courses, take licensing courses, and study the game that you're going to coach.
Okay. So, I know I want to be a broadcaster, and that is why I practice a lot. I even get to interview you after the game.
See? You're off to a good start, buddy.
So, what other ways could I practice to get better so I can be a good broadcaster like you?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Tiberius. I think you're already on your way. I think the biggest thing you can have is experience, right? So the more that you can get in front of people and get comfortable with talking to people who are, strangers who you don't know, maybe even talking to people that you may have seen on television, or because that can be intimidating if you have to talk to a big celebrity. I had to interview Kaká once, and Kaká is known the world over. He has millions upon millions of Twitter followers. You'll see his jerseys on TV and in movies. He is known the world over. So it can be intimidating sometimes if you want to interview people that might be big celebrities. But that just takes experience, right? Also being prepared. You have to know your subject matter and the person that you're going to talk to, and stick to your questions. Okay, so you're already on the right track. So just keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep studying, and keep getting the experience of getting in front of people.
So when you are not with the team or broadcasting, what is your favorite thing to do?
Honestly, my girlfriend and I, we love to go to Disney World. We love to go to the theme parks. We also like to go to karaoke. So there's some great karaoke places where we get up and we sing. We like to go on cruises. We love to go on boats and go see different places and hang out on beaches. So mostly recreating and just enjoying some fun times. I love the rides. And when I can, again, I have a group of musicians that I work with, and sometimes we get together and we go out and we play shows. We do shows. We do music shows.
So you're in a band?
I am, if you can believe that.
Wow. So what's the name of it?
The name is Analog Jukebox. So what we are is we're an 80s tribute band. A little different, though. You won't see us often because we usually play really big things. We have a large production that goes along with it. We have dancers, we have backup singers, lots of musicians, and costume changes and light shows and LED shows, and so it's a pretty big production. So we usually we can play things like cruise ships. We play big events. People that come into town that have their conventions, we'll play those. So we usually do to big things, festivals, things like that.
So when do you all get to practice?
They yell at me about that because they practice around my schedule, which is tough right now. So I'll be getting back onto that, to the practice, to the getting to practicing and rehearsing and getting things ready to go for that.
So when is the next season?
The next season will start next November, so we'll have a long time in between to get ready. But that's a good question.
So, okay. Can you tell me that one story? Remember this is a kid's show, but that one story, that you're not supposed to tell me about.
One story I'm not supposed to tell you about? Goodness, a story that I don't, Tiberius, you got me on that one. A story that I shouldn't tell you. What do you want to know, man? What do inquiring minds like yours want to know? Like what kind of story?
A very exciting story.
A very exciting story.
Or an embarrassing story.
Or an embarrassing story. I can tell you that there was excitement on the plane that I was on this past trip. We were coming back home from Milwaukee, and as we land, there's the kind of that ding sound, and then everybody gets up and they try and get their bags to get off the plane. And we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting, and then they come back on and they say, everybody needs to sit back down. We're like, whoa, I need to sit back down. And so everybody's kind of slow to sit back down, and then somebody else gets on and says, you need to sit back down. We have a security issue we need to attend to on the plane. We're like, what? A security issue on the plane? We've landed, so we know we should be okay. Well, the security person goes walking to the back of the plane, and you know what everybody's heads do then, right? They turn. Everybody's turning to look, see what's going on. And they have a guy, they get this guy off the plane, he's got his bag, and he comes marching down the aisle, and everybody's looking at the guy, wondering what's in the bag, why is it a security issue? They get him off the plane, and then they let us off. I still don't know what was going on with that bag, but it was a little bit concerning at the time. So that's exciting. That was a little bit exciting. That was exciting times on the plane.
Wow. So, thank you so much, Tom, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
I am not great at math, but I'd be glad to stick around for Math Corners.
Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
Get ready, it's time for the Bowling Score Report!
This week, we did not go bowling at Skylines. They canceled it because of a party or something. So I went to Boardwalk Bowling and practiced by myself. And I did 6 games. But my best 3 were 110 and a 109 and a 95. So my mom got me some chicken strips and they were very good. So I got to talk to the people around me, and it was fun to see them try to beat my score. Only one of the adults beat me, and I think that is pretty cool.
Turning to be a quiet bowler. You're going to be a bowling shark when you get older?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be a bowler.
Cool.
And also a reporter. If you want to go bowling with me, be sure to join me at the Amos Youth League Saturdays at Amos Skylands RWT at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
Thank you so much, Tom, for helping me with Math Corners. This month we have been talking about lines. I really like lines. When it's touch, they call that intersecting lines, or an intersection. So when lines don't touch, and they are the same distance apart from each other, then we call that parallel lines. And I like parallel lines, alright? So, what is really cool is there's a special intersection that looks like the intersections of roads. And they are called perpendicular. That means the intersection of the lines makes 4 right angles. The right angles are also 90 degrees, and perpendicular makes 4 right angles. So, all intersecting lines create 2 acute angles, angles that are less than 90 degrees, and 2 obtuse angles, that are in our two signals are larger than 90 degrees. So Tom, do you now know all about parallel and intersecting lines?
I now feel I could go out and I could tell people more about parallel and intersecting lines. So this was helpful to me. This was something that, I hadn't gone over this since geometry in the 10th grade, and that was a long time ago.
So, did you know that a soccer ball is made of 12 pentagons and 20 hexagons?
I didn't really pay attention that there were pentagons and hexagons, but I did know that there were 32 panels on a typical ball. But that's really cool that 12 of them are pentagons and 20 of them are hexagons.
Okay. It is called a Goldberg polyhedron. So the pentagons never touch each other.
I just got a picture of Goldberg playing soccer. Like the big wrestler.
Yeah,
That'd be a defender I think I would like on my team.
So thank you so much, Tom, for your help with math quiz.
I don't know what kind of help I was, Tiberius. You did all the teaching, but it was fun.
Oh, no worries. You helped me, all right.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad I did.
And now it's time for Heart of a Lion. We, the Tiberius Show, like living with the heart of a lion. Living with the heart of a lion stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. We asked Dr. Ferret exactly what that means.
Leadership is really about influence. Leadership is, and the way we define it is good leadership, is about setting the right example and encouraging other people to do the right thing. Integrity is about doing right no matter what. Through life, there are a lot of different circumstances that arise, and integrity, someone who shows integrity, it doesn't matter what all the external things are, they always choose to do what is right. Obedience is about obeying those who are in authority over you, whether that's a teacher, a boss, a parent, that when you are asked to do something, that you respond with obedience, quickly and completely. Nobility is about having respect. It's about carrying yourself with respect and showing respect to others. When you put these four things together, that's Lion Strong.
This week, we are going to talk about leadership. For me, I think leadership is the act of loving what is good, having self-control, and being disciplined. The qualities of leadership are providing guidance and direction, organization, being a positive influence on others. So, I see leadership with my teacher, Mrs. Fatisi. She has to direct all 16 kids in the class and get them to chapel and then to the classroom to show us new things in different ways so that we can learn to help others. So she was very nice and positive, even if we are not all following directions. It takes a real leader to keep on task and keep everyone organized. So Tom, did you see or use leadership at all this week?
I certainly did. We had 2 games this past week. Sad to say we didn't win either of them.
Yes.
But, it's always my job to stand in front of the team, to give them direction, to sometimes, as you mentioned obedience, and you said sometimes in class you don't always follow directions, and Mrs. Fatisi has to get you guys back on track. Well, sometimes my players don't always follow directions, so it's my job to get them back on track. Sometimes they're not very nice to the referee, so I have to have a word with them about how to interact with people and the best way to do that. So, yes, most definitely, I use my leadership skills to a great degree every time I'm working with the Orlando SeaWolves.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, Tom Traxler, for being my special guest this week. You have been awesome.
Yeah, we've talked about the Tuttle twins, Creature from Jekyll Island. We talked about parallel and perpendicular lines. We talked about what it's like to coach the SeaWolves. We got to talk a little bit about bowling and Space Invaders. I'd say we had a great time and a good show.
And be sure to listen to us next week on the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
The Tiberius Show is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Executive producer Joseph Boyd. Production editor Pierre Laguerre. Green Room manager Danny Boyd. And your program host, Tiberius Boy. The Tiberius Show is copyright 2018.